Yackin Wit Yoni. We're going to recap NFL and NBA weekend as well as the new edition of Katie's Corner. That's all right now on Yackin Wit Yoni. To this December the 10th edition of Yackin Wit Yoni. I am Ryan Yanushada. It was a great weekend of sports. 4 NBA games, 2 NFL games. Busy weekend for me. Caught some wrestling in Rubicon, Wisconsin, and also in West Allis, Wisconsin. I got a story about that later in the show. Let's recap NFL weekend to kick it off. Yesterday afternoon, Bears were in Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings, and the Bears lost this one of a final of 21-14. Let's go to the bullet points in this one. First, AP takes advantage. He's able to take advantage of a team that's without Brian Urlacher. Also, Tim Jennings didn't play in the game yesterday either, so I mean a rough game overall for the Bears. But nonetheless, AP took advantage. He had an 80-yard run to kick off the game. Just a tough game overall, but AP was able to beat Adrian Peterson and a guy that has a possible chance for MVP or comeback player of the year along with Peyton Manning. So a great job there by AP as he took advantage. Now, second one, it's dropped the ball. This team, a couple of big drops by Kellen Davis and also a couple by Devin Hester. Devin Hester had one where if he would have caught it, it would have been about 10 more yards in the end zone, and that would have made that game tied. It would have made it interesting. But, of course, the Bears cannot capitalize. So, I mean, the drop passes is what hurt this team late in the game, and it was able for the Minnesota Vikings to be able to just do exactly what they know what to do, and they did it there. A great job by them. But, again, a couple crucial drops cost the Bears this game. And finally, the injury woes. Tim Jennings, Brian Urlacher being out, as well as a couple other injuries. Right now, this team is not playing their best football. But again, when you have your big guy, when you have your couple of your big guys out like Urlacher, he kind of makes this defense. And with him not being in there yesterday, really hurt the Bears and gave a lot of momentum in the beginning of the game to the Minnesota Vikings. And they exactly, like I said earlier in the first bullet point, that with Adrian Peterson out there, he was able to get it, do what he needed to do, get the job done, and he took advantage of a bad Bears defense yesterday. And that is the reason the Vikings won that one of a final of 21-14. Now let's go over to the Packers and Lions. Last night played at Lambeau Field on NBC. Let's talk about this. Pick 6 is the first one. There was a couple of interceptions returned for a touchdown, which I think really increased the Packers out. Also, one of their defensemen recovered a fumble, able to get that back in there, and able to get a touchdown as well. So it looks like the defense had a lot more to do with this game than the offense, and I think with them being able to return it and the defense being able to get the job done with a lot of injuries on the offensive side, that's the big thing in here. But the Packers were able to take advantage of that. Second bullet point, rushing Rodgers. Seems like every time I look, Aaron Rodgers was out of the pocket, getting about 5-10 yards, not just the normal 1-2 yard gain. So a great job by him. Again, he's the guy that wherever he goes, his team's going to go. I think I said that before. He was able to do that last night, and he did a good job finally. Not the best. This is not the best you've seen of this Green Bay Packer team. They're only going to get better. They're going to get Clay Matthews back. They're going to get Charles Woodson back. This team isn't even 100% yet, and they're still playing amazing football. You're going to still see a lot of amazing things still to come for this Packer team. They're able to do it against the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, next week, next Sunday, Bears-Packers from Soldier Field. And, again, we'll be previewing that later in the week. But, once again, the Bears lose to the Vikings 21-14, and the Packers beat the Lions 27-20. We'll be previewing Bear-Packers later in the week on Friday. We are on Facebook. You can like us, message us, and much more. That is Yackin Wit Yoni on Facebook. Only got about 5 followers. Come on, guys, follow us. We put all our videos up there, so hope to see you guys jump aboard. Now it's time to recap NBA weekend. There's 4 games. Let's get right into it. Bulls on Friday night beat the Pistons 108-104. Let's take a look at the bullet points. Motors running early. The Pistons got out to about a 10-15 point lead, but then after that they seemed to fall and they weren't able to catch a rhythm. The Bulls were able to really start nailing shots, get the job done, and I think that's where this team is really. That's where it separates these two teams. The Pistons, a very young team besides Tayshaun Prince, against the Bulls, who really have the veterans, have a very good team. We're able to do it. Second one, young team means young defense, and that's exactly what I mean. Their defense was really let down. Joakim Noah was able to get there. And I mean everyone, Marco Bellinelli as well. And so a very big game for a very good game for the Bulls overall. They're shooting. And then the final one, no doubt about it, as Joakim Noah had an unbelievable game. It seems like he was there for blocks. It seems like he was there for everything that they needed him to be there for. Great job by Joakim Noah there, as he's able to get it done. And once again, the Bulls win that one 108-104 over the Pistons. Now also on Friday, or this one was on Friday as well, Bucks beat the Bobcats 108-93. First was a fast-paced action. It was a quick game. Two young teams. The Bobcats had Kemba Walker. The Bucks had their young stars in there as well. So, I mean, it was a fast-paced game. There wasn't a lot of shots being made early, but nonetheless, there was a big point. And then second one was a block party. It seemed like there was blocks everywhere. When you look at Larry Sanders, Ilsan Ilyasova even got a couple of blocks. So a great game defensively for the Milwaukee Bucks. In that game, they were able to prove, and that's what got them that victory over the Charlotte Bobcats. So a big one right there. Again, the Bucks win 108-93. Next one. On Saturday, Bulls beat the Knicks 93-85. No Anthony, no problem, at least out of the beginning of this game. They really started coming out. They were playing well. Didn't seem like they needed him. Still had Tyson Chandler. They still had a bunch of other guys really to get the job done, to really make this team. They had Jason Kidd. They had J.R. Smith. It seems like, hey, this team still has enough to be able to make their move in this game and try to win it. But then later in the game, as you see, both teams on edge. There was a lot of friggin' Taj Gibson got ejected. He had he got a technical two and was kicked out of the game. There's a lot of other things where you saw everyone get a little bit feisty. This is a playoff type atmosphere. And third one is renew the rivalry. And you saw these two teams way back in the day. Michael Jordan being able with Isaiah Thomas. I believe he's with the Pistons then. But nonetheless, these two used to be a rivalry back in the day. I think they can renew that. I think these two teams could possibly meet in the playoffs sometime down the line. But I mean, an unbelievable game by the Bulls. Even though Carmelo Anthony wasn't in the game, it still proved that the Bulls can last with a team like the New York Knicks. And then finally, last night, Bucks win 97-88 over the Nets. First one, hit the Brooks. Brook Lopez was not in the game last night for the Brooklyn Nets. By the way, it's a beautiful arena. Get a chance to watch that game. It was a tough game. It was a good game for the Bucks. They were able to get out early. Really had up to a 20-point lead. But without Brook Lopez, they missed that big guy in there, and that's what this team needed and couldn't have. Nets D has holes. Get it, Nets holes. But anyway, they had a lot of holes. They was able to let Brandon Jennings, Monte Ellis get their job, get in there. There was some nice dunks as well. So I mean, a great job by the guys that really need to be the go-to guys on this team to be able to win games. And then finally, Bucks stay strong. The Nets made it. The Bucks were up by as many as 20. The Nets got it all the way down to about 8, but the Bucks were able to prevail. They were able to stay strong in the defense, able to nail shots when they needed to. They deserve that win. And it pushes the Nets to a 4-game losing streak. So Bucks win 97-88. Also, an injury news for the Bulls. It looks like Rip Hamilton will be out for at least a month with an injury to his knee. We'll keep you posted on that. But that is recapping NBA weekend. Where's the one place to watch all Yackin Wit Yoni programming? It is on our home at YouTube. You can watch all episodes, plus best of at the end of every week. That's Yackin Wit Yoni on its home of YouTube. Well, it is Monday, and that means we got to catch up on the newest entertainment, movies, music, and all that. And for that, it's time for Katie in Katie's Corner.
Thanks, honey. Okay, so the top 5 movies, courtesy of BoxOfficeMojo.com, is Skyfall, Twilight, Breaking Dawn Part 2, Life of Pi, Lincoln, and Rise of the Guardian. The top 5 songs, courtesy of Billboard.com, is Diamonds by Rihanna, Die Young by Kesha, One More Night by Maroon 5, Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars, and Gangnam Style by Psy. The Voice, courtesy of NBC.com, was a double Team Adam elimination. It was Amanda Brown and Melanie Martinez, making the top 4 Terry McDermott, Cassidy Pope, Trevin Hunt, Nicholas David. The lives continue Monday at 7 on NBC. The results are Tuesday, same time, same place. Entertainment, courtesy of TMZ.com. There's a debate on whose meltdown is worse, Angus T's or Charlie Sheen's. People are actually debating this. They're saying Angus's meltdown was nothing compared to Charlie Sheen's. Tiger Blood is obviously the stronger element, so yeah, it's always going to be winning. Frankie Muniz had a mini stroke. The Malcolm in the Middle star suffered a mini stroke while riding his motorcycle like a rich ex-child star would. He says he lost vision in his left eye and his body went numb. His friends say he was talking weird. He was taken to a hospital, so the doctors diagnosed him, but they couldn't diagnose what was wrong with Malcolm in the Middle. And last, Honey Boo Boo, the star wants their gorilla suit back. There's a lot of things I can say about this, but the show is embarrassing enough, and someone had an outburst about their gorilla suit. They were using it to make people mad in traffic, so the police took it, and he wants it back. So the show is scary enough without the gorilla suit. I can't even imagine what he used it for.
Katie brings it better than ever. She dips into the entertainment and gives us some of the big stories going on. That's every Monday on Yackin Wit Yoni. Good to see her back in her corner. She was in her second corner, but nonetheless, she was there. Couple stories to tell you. First, as I said at the top of the show, went to Rubicon, Wisconsin on Friday night, and on the way home, again, this was like 12:31 in the morning. Very, very tired, and all of a sudden, we're going down I-94 back to where we live. And I'm like, look, there's Allstate Arena. And my niece who was with me is like, oh yeah, there it is. And then I come to realize we were in Wisconsin. That was not Allstate Arena. Once we pulled up, when we got closer, it was a Woodman's. So that is, my family has a joke that I'm not geographically correct. But that one was probably the worst of all. But you're still seeing wrestling shows in Illinois, not in Wisconsin. But funny there. And then also not too funny today. While shaving, cleaning the razor, slipped my finger, blood everywhere, little graphic there, but nonetheless, I'm still here, blood stopped, Yackin Wit Yoni never goes away. So that is the stories of today, and also for the, looks like a sponsorship as you saw on our front page, not on there anymore, they haven't returned my emails, so yeah. They sold out, so if I were you, don't go to Sports Authority in Springfield. Okay, now it's time for predictions! And over the weekend, I went 5-5 over the 6 games that took place. Okay, now let's go to, no predictions today. We have more starting tomorrow. Speaking of, let's preview tomorrow. We're going to preview Bulls Clippers as Lob City coming to the Windy City. Blake Griffin and the Clippers. As well as new editions of True or False. And around the MLB, some trades, also some signings happening. We will break that down on tomorrow's show. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching this December the 10th edition of Yackin Wit Yoni on YouTube. I'm Ryan Yanashada saying this is One Guy, One Show, Enough Said!